Now, just in case you're a big fan of Golden Ultimate Search, I'm sure you will be happy to see these two gentlemen. At what point did you realize, you know what, I'm actually going to audition for this?
Prior to 2010, which was the first time I auditioned for the show, I wasn't like a huge fan of the show. I'd seen season 1 passively, and then season 4 as well, because the winner, Dominic, was in my school at the time.
Okay. So this is the same Dominic?
Yeah, same Dominic.
That was on the show last week?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
So my best friend, she was actually the one who was gingering. Let's go for ultimate search. I'm like, fam, I'm not cut out for this. He did the registration online with my laptop at the time. I was busy playing my PS2 or PS3 at the time. We auditioned together. We didn't make it through the first time. I'm like, you see, after all the stress, I told you, leave this thing alone. It's not our calling, brother. The following year, he's like, fam, let's try this thing again. I was less busy at the time. I started getting to the university. I didn't really have a lot I was doing other than modeling, going for auditions here and there. So I'm like, what do I have to lose? Auditioned for the second time and eventually made it into the jungle. But for me, the mindset was, let's just see how it goes.
But at the point where you eventually made it into the jungle, talk me through, besides the fact that you auditioned twice before you got picked.
When you're on stage and you don't get in, it's like, okay, you did it well, try again. It's not like, okay, I did it, I went for the audition, I didn't even get to the stage. You know, I got to the stage for a part and I didn't get into the jungle. So came the next day and I tried again, I didn't get it. I called, obviously I called mom, I was like, today don't go. Mom was like, probably it's not your time, just come back home. Don't feel bad about it. Okay. And I was like, okay, I came back and then I prepped better and the third time, it's inside you, just do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, the both of you had to prepare physically. I mean, Chris was, still is, in history, the smallest ultimate man ever.
No, someone has taken that title.
Okay, we'll get to who, but again, at the time, you were probably the smallest.
Yes, I was the smallest at my time.
And then Dennis obviously was the biggest in the season.
In the season? Definitely not.
Definitely not.
No,
I was only teasing, by the way. But what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people actually say that, being an ultimate man takes a lot of physicality. I say one day, if I wake up one day and say tomorrow, you know what, I'm going to be on ultimate search. People look at me like, nah, man. But then again, the truth is, the ultimate man really isn't necessarily about being just physical.
Yeah, true.
Do you get?
Yeah.
So aside physically and spiritually, which I've both come to realize both of you are very spiritual people, what other ways did you really have to prepare for your time in the jungle?
You need to know about the ultimate search yourself. I'm sorry to say. You need to like, there's a particular episode or season where it was about the ingredients used to make the beer. The herbs, the barleys, and all of that kind of stuff. So if you don't prep yourself about who the MB manager is or who the first winner is and all those kind of details, you're not ready.
Sure.
Because like, you could just come in for an audition and ask you, okay, dude, okay, who was the second winner of the Good Ultimate Search?
And just be like,
Mike Adinuga.
The Rock.
Sorry, man. The Rock.
The Rock. Really?
So
just knowing more about the show was very important.
Yeah, you need to know everything about the show from head to toe. You need to know you need to prep yourself well for everything.
What other attributes would you say helped you win?
What other attributes?
Or not even helped you win. Let's not even go to win. Let's just say helped you prepare yourself for the show.
Okay. Like you said, you have to have some sort of knowledge about the show, even if not in its entirety. I already knew that the show was going to require a lot of physicality from me, which I was already athletic. I felt like I kind of had that already. So I should spend more time in preparing myself for the mental part of the show. Because watching the show, especially season 7, which was the first time that I tried out and didn't make it into the jungle, I realized that they had to do a lot of tasks that had to do with brain work, picture puzzles, riddles, and all of that. So it's not really all about having muscle mass, right? So I spent a lot of time playing puzzle games on my phone, just in my spare time, riddles and all of that, just to increase my IQ and a lot of stuff like that, which actually did help me in the jungle. It did help me a lot. So it's not just about having all the guns. Muscle. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the benefits. You have a brand new car. You have, in your case, 10 million. In your
Pajero car.
Yours was a Pajero, and yours was a Ford.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. SUVs, my thing. Anyway, before we get any further, I think it's now time for us to have our first caller.
I'm calling from Ogudu.
Ogudu, how's Ogudu today?
Very well, very well.
All right, so you have a question or you have a comment? Please hit us.
Yeah, quickly, I have a question for the guys in the studio. But first off, great show. I miss Good Ultimate Search, and I want to be back to great stuff, guys.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, for the guys in the studio, for Dennis and Chris, So if there is a rerun for the Buddha Ultimate Search that involves past winners, for Dennis and Chris, who are the contestants or the past winners that will be their greatest competitors?
Oh, that is a very
That's actually a really good question.
That is a very good question.
Dude, who are you?
Okay, of all the past winners, Ezugo, Lucan, Dominic, Michael, Uche, Kunle, Pascal, him and
Dennis.
Chinedu. I would say my biggest competitor would probably be Chinedu
Why?
because he's very intelligent.
Okay, so this has nothing to do
It
with
has
physique.
nothing to do with strength.
Pascal is an underdog because you don't expect him. I've hung out with Pascal a couple of times.
Okay.
I'd seen the things he could do.
We have another caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening. Okay, I'm really watching John and I love it.
Thank you very much.
It's good to see the ultimate man again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
How has life changed in winning good ultimate search? I don't know if you got my question.
Yeah, we did. I was just trying to concentrate on you there, but yeah, we got your questions. Thank you for calling.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the mental part, because a lot of people actually attribute the ultimate man to just being physically strong. So I'm glad that you brought that up. So let's talk about the mental aspect of it. How do you mentally prime yourself for that? I start with you, Chris.
Okay, don't take any breaks. Don't take any times off.
Mentally, that is.
Mentally, in my mind, I'm like, I would rest both physically and mentally when I get home.
Okay.
But for as long as I'm on this show, there are no times off, there are no breaks, there are no taking any rest, there are no loose guarding. Let me use the word that everybody knows. Don't lose guard at any point in time, because fam, they can come at 2:30 a.m. for a task. And whoever comes last is going home instantly.
For me, going for ultimate search, I already knew I needed to prep myself, like, you know, the taxes and everything. From childhood, I've been, you know, playing a lot of games and polls and everything. So I knew that I didn't come here to make friends.
Okay.
Sorry to say, I didn't come to make friends. All right, and most times before I sleep, I was already thinking about driving the car already. So psychologically, I knew that I just wanted to drive that car. So there was no time for me to say, my buddy, how far now? Are you ready for today's start? Are you doing good? No, I didn't. I
didn't care.
I tried to pick out the best two or the best three in the jungle with me and tell myself that I had to beat these people.
But we have a caller.
Okay.
Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening. What is the biggest takeaway from the show, from the time there? You know, I mean, so many things are happening at the same time. What is that one thing that has lead you the most from coming out from the show?
Thank you very much for that one. And have a good evening, okay?
Still pretty much do everything I used to do even before I became famous.
Okay.
Right? I go to all the places I still go to, because it's a conscious effort. I try to maintain that, like, in my mind, I am not as popular or as famous as people think that I am. And it helps me stay grounded. It helps me stay grounded.
Okay.
And also considering the fact that I started this early, at 16, I know a lot of people started way earlier. There are child actors that started at 4 or 5.
True
but
that.
for me, it was early as well, especially considering the fact that that was the year that I moved to Lagos full-time. 2004, you know, got into the entertainment industry. So I was already kind of used to it.
Okay.
So it wasn't that much of a huge difference for me. Yes, the fame was different, but I was already used to a little bit, so it wasn't that hard.
Take away from the show was the fact that I was able to change my status, my name. You know, I was from a background where we're just there. You know, so I needed the opportunity to make the name being known after. At the end of the day, it worked for me, and I was glad that I actually achieved that.
Like in my mind, I am not as popular or as famous as people think that I am.
If you had a chance to do it again and you're heading back to the jungle, anytime, any day,
I would.
are you owning your journey, or do you own your journey, or do you feel good about the journey you're on? What would your answers be? I'll start from you, Chris.
Okay, so my answer would not be in past tense. My answer would be in present continuous.
Okay.
I would say to the person that I have owned my journey and I am still owning my journey. Reason being that no matter what I've achieved in life, which thankfully to God, emphasis on God, I have achieved a lot.
Okay.
I'm never going to get to a place where I relax and feel like, yes, I've hit jackpot. I'm now going to relax. I am always going to keep working to do better. I'll do myself do better than the last. So I'm going to continue to own my journey till I stop breathing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Dennis, owning your journey?
Okay, well, to some people, they actually think, you know, being an ultimate man was the end of their journey, like, okay, they've achieved. But the truth is, being an ultimate man is actually the beginning of your journey, right? Okay. Now, because it puts you on a platform whereby you need to do more to stay relevant.
Okay.
Right now. So if you do not own your journey, you're going to be
Blown away.
Do you understand? So, and owning your journey doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, done by your own personal abilities, because everything, like I said, comes from the divine grace of God Almighty. If God has actually said you're going to be the ultimate man, He's not going to give you a profile that you cannot handle. He knows you're going to be able to handle it. So He put you there. You just need to seek His guidance, and then you should have a vision of where you're going to and trust Him to actually direct you on your journey. That's how you get to own your journey.
Okay, so owning your journey, or being on your journey, means you need to own your journey. And on that note, I'd like to say thank you to Chris Okagwe, winner of Gold Ultimate Search Season 8. You would forever remain our ultimate man.
Thank you very much.
Winner of Season 10. You will forever remain our ultimate man.
Thanks, guys.